In this video, I'll show you one of the most unusual places in the SpaceEngine planetarium that actually exists in the universe. This is the triple quasar LBQS 1429-0053. You can see all three quasars of the system, as well as several amazing worlds with a view of them. Right now, you can see three separate galaxies with a quasar located at the center of each one. These galaxies are located very close to each other, which is exactly why this system is called a triple quasar. And first of all, let's visit the quasar QSO B1429-008A. This is one of the three quasars in the system, located about 10.5 billion light years from Earth. At the center of this quasar is a supermassive black hole, and the planetarium indicates that its mass is 500 million solar masses. The diameter of the central supermassive black hole is 19.74 astronomical units. This is a truly gigantic object, and the diameter of its accretion disk is many times larger, reaching 598 astronomical units. The temperature of the accretion disk is incredibly high, about 10,418 degrees Celsius. And so, as you can see, right next to the central black hole, and here we are right near it, and this is how everything looks here, a terrifying curvature of space. If you look in that direction, it's clearly visible. Well, at this point, I'll turn on auto mode. And auto mode, everything looks like this. Not bad, interesting. And now I'll take a risk and fly closer to the black hole. Oh, here, of course, there's already a complete curvature of space, so we're getting lost in space and time. Switching back to HDR, if you look from this angle, it all looks like this. And so I'll try to fly inside this cloud, the accretion cloud if you can call it that. And this is how everything looks here. Cool. If you go lower, there's this kind of haze, you can't see anything, but you can make out the silhouette of the black hole a bit. I'll switch to auto mode. In auto mode, it's just wow, look at that. Here, of course, you can see more textures. And how it all just flies by like that. It's crazy. I'm heading back up higher because there's wild radiation here. It's better not to be in these clouds at all, or even anywhere near this black hole and quasar. And so this is how this quasar looks in auto load. At a distance of 4.89 light years from this black hole, I found an interesting moon of a gas giant. This is a cool lacustrine subterra with a diameter of 12,880 kilometers, slightly larger than Earth, and its mass exceeds Earth's by 2.5 times. The average temperature here is quite low, minus 64 degrees Celsius. The moon has a dense atmosphere, consisting mainly of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and carbon monoxide. On the surface, there are liquid lakes of carbon dioxide, and the pressure reaches almost 12 atmospheres. So here I am, actually on the surface of this moon. We can see the moving clouds. I'll speed up time 30 times so that you can see the movement of the clouds. And so, as I told you, there are liquid bodies of carbon dioxide on this moon. And here we see one of the rivers, which consists of this gas, as a matter of fact. And here's the shoreline of this river. But on this moon, there is such a vast body of water, an ocean or a large lake, consisting of carbon dioxide. There, it is clearly visible. I will descend near the shore of this body of water. Here I am. The view from here is quite nice. I will speed up time again by 30 times. We see the star. The main star in this system is the yellow dwarf. The moon is basically quite desolate like this, but I like the visuals of the atmosphere. This is a moon of that gas giant over there. I found the perfect spot to show you the sunset on this moon. Let's watch the sunset, and when night falls, we'll check out the night sky, see the gas giant and the nearby quasar from this moon. The sunset was, as always, incredible, and now I will speed up time. Full night has fallen upon us, and the sky hasn't dimmed too much because the gas giant is shining brightly here. And just look at its appearance. It looks stunning. The gas giant has its own rings, and here they are far off by the pole. See? A stunning aurora borealis. And right here, the view of the quasar opens up. Look how bright it is. It even adds light to the dark side of this moon. I'll use the telescope to show you how it looks when zoomed in. Basically, this is how it looks. And there are some pixels around it, or maybe that's how SpaceEngine shows space distortion. If we switch to auto mode, the distortion seems to vanish, but for some reason, the quasar's accretion disk isn't visible, only the outgoing jets and the supermassive black hole itself. And if we set the view like this, we can see the gas giant, the aurora, and the quasar all at once. Cool, right? Also, there's this weird bug. Some flickering dot is jumping across the sky. Just ignore that. Now let's fly to QSO B1429-008B. This is the system's second quasar. According to SpaceEngine data, the mass of its supermassive black hole is also about 500 million solar masses. The diameter of the supermassive black hole and its accretion disk here is the same as the previous quasar. There you see the quasar. It's very similar to the last one, not just in its specs, but also in its appearance. I'll fly closer to its center, though I don't think there's any point in flying into the black hole. Let's check out this accretion disk. I'm flying straight into these clouds right now, and basically everything here is very similar to the previous case. It always fascinates me. If you look at this outgoing jet, it just looks so majestic. The edge of this pillar looks so interesting. Let's try auto mode here in this spot. Like this, everything looks even more massive and mesmerizing. Well guys, this outgoing jet is so radioactive, it's just insane. I'll switch back to HDR mode. I'll fly through here like this. And here we also see such a giant curvature of space. I've accidentally ended up near the black hole. Let's fly inside, since we're already here. So the black hole is somewhere around here. Yes, there's the event horizon it seems. And so, here I am, entering a black hole. And now I'm emerging from the other side. Not far from this quasar by cosmic standards, at a distance of 24.65 light years. I found a planet with life. Its class is the temperate marine Terra with life. It features organic, multicellular marine and terrestrial life. The planet has a dense ring system with beautiful purple hues. The planet's diameter is 17,001 kilometers. That's about 33% larger than Earth's. And in terms of mass, it's nearly 3 times as massive. It has a dense atmosphere, consisting mainly of nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, and carbon dioxide. There are oceans of liquid water on the surface. The average temperature here is about 15 degrees Celsius, and the surface pressure reaches 6.5 atmospheres. Here I am on the surface. I've descended into some canyon. It looks like a river's flowing down here, I think. Oh wait, no, it's a dry riverbed. There could have been a river here once. So I'm flying along here, and I see it's quite cloudy on this planet. I'm hiding the atmosphere, the clouds. Let's take a look at its appearance. That's better, since the clouds were blocking everything. We can see that there are continents and oceans here, and for the most part, the ocean is what dominates here. Since the planet has such beautiful rings, let's fly into them. Now I'm right inside these rings. This is the view of the planet from right inside them. A huge number of particles moving very fast. It's currently set to real-time mode. I'll slow it down to below real-time. And this way, we can see in more detail what these particles look like. Well, we see, basically, I take it like little ice balls, roughly speaking. Here's another beautiful view I've set up for you. And if we switch to auto mode, everything looks even richer and more vibrant in this mode. Switching back to HDR. And now, let's head back down to the planet. Let me remind you that there's also multicellular life on this planet. And here, in fact, is where we can see it. I found another mountainous spot here, and we see this view of the rings. Just a stunning view. The thick clouds don't stop us from seeing them. And here in the mountains, we also see many plants, like some kind of flowers. And now I've gone lower, and there are lots of these flowers here too. Such beauty all around, especially if you look this way, where you can see the rings and one tall mountain. And here, I've flown up to this mountain. Look at the view down there. What a drop off. And the clouds are very close to us here. I think the night sky will be clearly visible from here on this planet. By the way, we can see the main star that this planet orbits. It's an orange dwarf, and right next to it, we see a little white dot. That's the quasar from this galaxy. Unfortunately, both the star and the quasar will set at almost the same time. There goes the quasar behind the horizon. And next, it's the star's turn. Incredible as always. By the way, after sunset, we see these 3 bright dots. This one here is a star, and these, it turns out, are neighboring planets in the system. And being here on this mountain peak, we can see the rings of this planet very clearly. Unfortunately, this planet has no moons, so we won't see much besides the rings. But we can see this galaxy right here. This is the 3rd quasar from this quasar system. And here, by the way, we see another galaxy. This is the quasar with the prefix A, which we looked at in the first part of the video. But I want to show you the view of this quasar from the planet's surface. I'll move to the right spot now so that it can be seen. Like right here. Now that I've moved, this is the view that opens up of this quasar. I'll also zoom in with the telescope to see how it looks under magnification. Again, we see this kind of gravitational lens, like a curvature of space. It's unclear what it is. I'll switch to auto mode so we can see everything much better. As with the first quasar, only the jets are visible here, but the accretion disk, for some reason, isn't visible at all. Strange, why is that? But at least the jets of this quasar aren't aren't pointed toward this planet. And we still have QSO B1429-0053C. This is the third smallest quasar in the system. In this planetarium, the mass of its central black hole is listed as 100 million solar masses, and the diameter is just under 4 astronomical units, while the diameter of the accretion disk reaches 119 astronomical units. And so here I am near it, flying in a bit closer to its center, moving along like this, almost parallel to the jet. And right here, close by, is its black hole. So here I am, not far from it. I don't want to fly inside there. What I'm seeing right now is mesmerizing. The curvature of space. Right next to it is this giant supermassive black hole, and the event horizon. And even the black hole with its space curvature changes the color of space. Look at how it looks. And even from here, you can see that neighboring quasar with the prefix A. I turned on auto mode and everything looks something like this. And here is the quasar, so to speak, in its full glory, roughly speaking. And this is how it looks if you take a closer look. And this third quasar turns out to be, as I told you, the smallest of these three quasars. This one is actually about 5 times smaller in mass, and the accretion disk is also many times smaller. At a distance of 0.61 light years from it, there's a very interesting and beautiful planet in this planetarium. It's a cryogenic lacustrine superaquaria. Its diameter is 22,321 kilometers. That's 75% larger than Earth, and its mass is 5 times greater than Earth's. The average temperature here is extremely low, minus 195 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere consists mainly of nitrogen and carbon monoxide, and there are liquid lakes on the surface, except they're not made of water, but of liquid nitrogen. The surface pressure on this planet is 54 hundredths of an atmosphere. And now I've landed on the surface, and the first thing that catches our eye is the purple atmosphere. It looks amazing, and the clouds are in these beige and purple shades, it seems. And down there we can see the liquid nitrogen. And here I am in this liquid. It's kind of yellow here, really unusual. Now this is interesting. It's really its own special alien world. Well, let's look at the sky. So we see this quasar from the galaxy. Exactly. It's visible even by day. And here we see a moon of this planet, and we see the main star that this planet orbits around. This is a red dwarf. Speaking of moons, this planet has 11 of them. We've already seen at least one, but I can't see anything else during the day. So I found a mountainous spot like this here, and we'll see the sunset and look at the night sky and see how all the moons look and the view of the quasar at night. Beautiful sunset, incredible. And now this rich night sky opens up. Look at how many stars there are. Well, because we're not far from the center of this galaxy. And so here's the view of the quasar at night. Yes, we see one moon of this planet, and I see 2 more moons of this planet. Let's switch to auto mode. By the way, they look so cool. If I zoom in with the telescope, that's how they look. By the way, I'll tell you one thing, none of its moons have an atmosphere. And overall, if you look toward the quasar, look how bright it is. And right next to it, that moon is visible. What's interesting is, looking like this, the rings aren't visible at all, but if you aim it in front of the star, they stand out a bit, and switching to auto mode, they're actually very clearly visible. Well, they must be very thin, making them very hard to see. I've returned to this planet, and I found this view. I'm near a body of water, and it opens up to a view of this quasar. Look at how beautiful it is. And as is tradition in this video, I'll focus on it and zoom in with the telescope to see how it looks. Yes, again we see this gravitational anomaly, or whatever you call it. And I'll switch to auto mode here, and we see the jets aren't pointed toward this planet, which is good, but the accretion disk unfortunately isn't visible. I think today turned out to be a truly amazing journey. We visited a real triple quasar, and even just the name of this place makes it feel incredible. If you enjoyed this journey, be sure to leave a like and write a detailed comment. Thank you very much.